Hello everybody and welcome back to the Finding Your Feet podcast. This is a podcast that is dedicated to helping you live your best life. We talk all about positivity, wellness, mental health, a bit of spirituality.
Self-love.
Yeah, along with a bit of madness.
Yeah.
Whatever fits. So basically like we've been trying to start recording this podcast for like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
We do this thing sometimes where we like fall into this weird matrix before we start recording, and maybe this is why people really pick up on this like really playful energy, like I think they do, because something happens when we sit in these seats.
Just start gabbing on forever.
Yeah, literally, like if we don't like know like what time is it now, it's like nearly 5 o'clock on a Friday evening, and don't get me wrong, I'd rather be doing this than most things on a Friday evening, but if we didn't know that time exists, we'd probably just sit here.
Yeah, to be telling you about my dilemma for years.
Yeah. And getting lost and go round in circles.
But I've been chewing Abby's ear off for 45 minutes, talking to her about one thing, trying to figure out a question that we don't know the answer to. But that's all.
They're probably thinking we're debating life, we're
not, we're being really pathetic and childish.
debating the purpose of life or something. It's definitely not that deep, guys.
But today, what are we talking about today? We're talking all about following your passions, and like someone actually filled out our form last week. Thank you everyone who filled out the feedback form. Very much appreciated. Love you all.
Yeah, really sweet feedback as well.
Yeah, thank you so
cute.
much. But someone actually put on there, we said like, what would you want to hear us talk about? And they said leaving a safe job. And we were like, what are we in the mood to talk to? And we were like, well, do you know what? I've been thinking a lot actually about how important it is to follow your passions recently, because it's really been like very at the front of my mind, because I've been like, so what's the word? So no, you're not sowing the seeds. That's when you plant them. Reap the seeds. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I feel like I've been reaping seeds that I planted like this week, like a couple of years ago, purely from following my passions in my career and like what I'm interested in. So I feel like it's, yeah, we got the suggestion, but also like it's kind of like been on my mind too. You know?
Yeah. And I feel like we always love talking about things like this, because like we wouldn't be here if we didn't do that.
No, and I'm like, I'm just obsessed. I think it's so important to do this. No, it's like do what you love and you never work a day in your life. I'm joking. But like we need to I think, yes. I can't talk. I'm gone. I just think I'm okay, I'm going home. Bye everyone. Oh God, no, basically what I'm trying to say is that I think it's very important. Oh my God, it literally sounds like we've been drinking or something before we've come on this, and I promise we haven't. No, I just think you've got one life, and a topic that is very close to my heart is that people do what they love in life and like take risks and like follow what they're interested in, create their own paths and go against the blueprint, because your life goes from 0 to 100 when you do that. Like how much more fun is your life when you do that, you know?
Exactly. And we have like such a limited time on this earth. I think obviously we will say in this episode, like so many factors come into this whole decision of like leaving a job or leaving something that's safe. Like the fact that you are leaving something that's safe, like the money aspect, like we get all that. But as I was saying, like we have such a short time in this lifetime. So it's like, it's so important to do things that light you up and that set your soul on fire. Like it sounds so cliche, but it's so important, because safety and all that is very good. And like, I really do feel like society like feeds us fear to kind of keep you small sometimes. So going for that secure option has loads of benefits that maybe starting your own thing won't at the start. But I just think like waking up every single day and feeling like excited and feeling like you have a purpose and feeling like you're taking little steps towards this dream life that you've always envisioned, like that is the most fulfilling thing. Like that beats safety over anything, I think.
Definitely. And I think the safety of like maybe a safe job is often an illusion as well, because like I've had friends who have had jobs at like big companies and then go in one day and they've got the sack. Like,
yeah, that's true.
like not because they've done anything, just because they've been let go. And it's like you're working for one company, they can let you go whenever they want. Like, what's the real risk in like having your own business instead, where you've got, whether you sell a product, you've got lots of different customers, so if one of them wants to sack you, it's okay. Or if you have like a business, you've got clients, whatever, you have multiple of them, so if one of them goes, it's okay. You just, there's other, so it's like really what it's obviously safe, as in, you're going to get a paycheck each month. And I understand, we're not telling people here to go and quit their jobs and have no money and not be able to pay the bills. That's not advice we're giving out, but I get the safety knowing that like you're going to have that income. But the biggest risk isn't in starting a business or doing what you're passionate about, leaving your job and starting a new career. The biggest risk is you not doing that. The biggest risk is in you potentially living a life where you're completely unfulfilled. And also, you're literally like doing disservice to the world when you don't follow what you are curious about and what excites you inside your chest. Like what is in your heart? What do you care about? What are you interested in? What are you passionate about? What do you enjoy doing? Because you can literally make a job out of anything. Like, we live in this amazing world now with the internet, and you really can do so many incredible things. But I always think, like, you said that amazing thing before. Say it for the audience.
About the staircase?
Yeah.
Oh, that like everyone wants to wait to see the whole staircase before they take the first step, but like you're never ever going to see the full staircase because you're not even taking the first step.
Yeah, even when you take the first step, you can't see it anyway.
Yeah, no,
you
can literally
just to fucking see it if you don't even step on the stairs.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I mean. Like, you're never going to be able to see the full thing. But yeah, if you don't even just take a risk and take one step, then you're never going to build up the courage anyway. I think you just got to go for it.
As we're on the topic of following your passions and building a life that you love and that you care about and that you feel is purposeful, sometimes that can be really hard when you have so many mental barriers standing in your way that are just, a podcast just isn't going to fix. A book, self-development book, just isn't going to fix. A motivational chat with your friend just isn't going to cut it. You need to be diving a little bit deeper and really understanding what the hell those mindset blocks are, why are they there, and let's fucking move them out of the way so we can live our best lives. That's why we're so excited to introduce you to an amazing company called BetterHelp, who are an online therapy platform, super secure, all private, all done from the comfort of your own home. You don't even need to have a computer, you can do it on your phone, just need an internet connection, download their app, and you can schedule weekly calls with a licensed therapist at your convenience. You can do it any time of day, whenever you want. You don't need to travel anywhere, you don't need to sit in an awkward waiting room, you don't need to even leave your bed. You can sit in bed and have therapy. It's amazing. So all you need to do is go to the link betterhelp.com/finding your feet. That's betterhelp.com/finding your feet. And that link is going to get you 10% off your entire first month of therapy. So all of your sessions in the first month, you're going to get 10% off. BetterHelp are amazing because not only do they make therapy accessible for everybody by having it on this online platform, making it really easy to set up calls with your therapist and get signed up with a therapist super quick when you sign up for an account, they're also a lot more affordable than traditional face-to-face therapy. So not only that, you're also going to get your 10% off for being a listener of the podcast. So just head to the link betterhelp.com/finding your feet. That's betterhelp.com/finding your feet to get 10% off your first month of therapy with BetterHelp and start your journey to living your best life today. I really do believe, from my personal experience in life, of how me following what I'm interested in rather than what other people say I should do or society says I should do or what my friends are doing or what my family want me to do or anything like that, every single time I've listened to and hear what am I interested in, but I've never been able to see the end point, but like I've just been curious with it and just done it anyway. It always pays off so much. Like you will never be able to see the top of the stairs, but I really do believe that every single person has like something in their heart that like they're curious about and that interests them and excites them and that they're passionate about. And if they just explore that, that's all you need to do, is just that one first bit, because the rest of it I honestly believe is fate and it's led out for you. And I think that you tap into your genius, like you literally do. Like, I think we've all got a genius, like, and we've all got a thing, and it's because like, like I believe every soul here has a purpose as well. Like, so, like whether that's that you love researching stuff in a lab, or like you love taking care of animals, or you love podcasting, you know, or something like whatever it is, doesn't matter how niche it is. I think that like you were put here to do that in some way, and like you're going to feel so fulfilled and happy doing that. That's what I mean when your life goes from 0 to 100, if you tap into that, because you feel so much more fulfilled and purposeful, because it's like a deep soul knowing that this is what you're meant to be doing. And that's why I think don't be scared that you can't see the end point or the top of the stairs, because it really doesn't matter. All you have to do is take that first step of curiosity and just do it. And then the rest, I honestly think it's mapped out. And as long as you just like whatever it is you're doing as well, you stay committed to it. You don't let your self-doubt eat you up. You don't let like the fact you're not getting any results yet eat you up, and you just keep going, then you'll end up in really beautiful places that you're meant to be. I think like our lives, there's so many different like outcomes for our lives depending on what choices we make. But I think if we step into, so I don't think like, oh, you could just avoid stepping outside your comfort zone and fate will happen anyway, and you'll end up with all the amazing shit you're meant to do. I think you have to be brave and do things that make you uncomfortable and like show commitment and keep it up to get that. I do believe that like you could go down so many different life paths, but I think when you step into the one like that truly scares you, but you know that thing, I said it in the 20 things we learned in our 20th episode, that everything I'm most proud of started with fear and ended with happiness. But it's like everything as well. And I was saying you resist things that you actually want the most, but they're the things you need to do the most. They're the most important things.
Yeah, definitely. Because I think as well, if you're following what is in like your soul's purpose, then you are in alignment, and like life just flows better when you're in alignment. And when you're doing something that your soul is calling you to do, you are going to be fulfilled. And when you're more fulfilled, you are a better person to the world and to yourself. It's just all meant to be. But I feel as well that we should give, because you know we've got quite a few new listeners lately, so we should give a background.
Oh yeah, we should. Let's go back down memory lane.
Yeah, because some people might not have a clue how we started or anything like that.
Yeah.
So we'll take you on a journey.
Let's go on a journey.
Yeah. So we'll quickly cover everything if you don't know. So me and Grace started this podcast in lockdown in March.
April.
Was it April?
It was the end of April 2020.
Oh, it's because I always think lockdown started in March.
Yeah, it did.
But
then we had to get our shit together for a month. We had to think about.
Oh yeah, I had a whole month of like, oh my god, what am I even? Oh right, I thought you might get our shit together. Like,
oh yeah, also
taking the fact that we were locked in our houses.
Emotionally come round to the fact that we were prisoners in our own homes.
Yeah. And that was a lot to take in.
So, but let's just distract from that reality by creating a podcast. That's what we did.
But it was like so in alignment, wasn't it? Like you had this drop in, and I was like,
I think we signed a soul contract that we were going to do this together,
Yeah, 100%. And obviously it was just absolute perfect time because you had so much time on your hands.
Yeah.
Good old furlough.
Was looking for stuff like that as well, like looking for connection and positivity online.
Yeah, it was a match made in heaven. And obviously just from when we first started, it always felt so in alignment. Like it always felt so good. So yeah, that's when we started the podcast. And then we were doing the podcast for around... I actually do get mixed up with this because it's been a few years now, but was it like 8 months?
Yeah.
And then we both lived in London. You quit your job.
CC, yeah.
To move back and kind of pursue
entrepreneurship goals.
And then I also at like a really similar time, which is funny the way things work out, is I got made redundant from my job in London. I was like, okay, what do I do? Because my plan when I moved to London was to stay in London for like quite a long time. Like that was just...
Yeah.
That's what I thought I was going to do. And I'd only been there for... It would have been... Oh no, when I got made redundant, I would have only been there for a year and a few months at that point because it's like September. And I got made redundant around the November time. And I remember thinking like, I was like, okay, I need to either get a new job and stay in London and like obviously get like a decent job with decent pay, because when you live in London, you got bills to pay and you got rent to pay.
Expensive city.
Yeah, you can't just be like fluffing around. But I remember, because the point that I really want to speak about is like really being honest with yourself and asking yourself like what actually lights my soul and what feels good for me right now. Because I was like sitting there looking at jobs, flicking through my laptop one night, and I was like, absolutely nothing in me wants to apply for any of these jobs. Like it's just not calling my heart whatsoever. And we were obviously at this point in the podcast was growing. we were really enjoying it, and we were like, oh, can we like build a studio? How can we like grow this? How can we take it more seriously? And like my entire heart was saying, just go home and build this podcast. But I remember thinking like, that doesn't really make sense. I've only just moved to London. I've always wanted to live in London.
Yeah, no, I'm turning my back on what's been my dream for so long.
Yeah, and I've just studied fashion for like 6 years, and now I'm like, I'm just gonna move home and just do a podcast on wellness. So I was like, it sounds a bit crazy, but I was like, fully, my intuition was like, no, just don't. And I remember even being scared to tell my mum. I was like, I can't tell mum that I've not been applying for jobs. Like, she's gonna think I'm nuts. And I told her, and she was like, you just do you. She was like, if that feels
supportive.
right. Yeah.
Love that.
She's like, yeah, if that feels right. So yeah, obviously from there it all unfolded. But like, I kind of made that decision then that, okay, I'm not gonna move out of London right now. But I set the intention of like, actually, my soul really doesn't want to apply for these other jobs. And even though it doesn't make sense, I've just spent all this money on uni, and now I'm in this flat, and then I'm gonna have to leave. I literally left my flat early, lost money and everything like that. But I was like, my heart is just calling me up north for us to pursue this. But obviously, like, the journey continued, and we built this new business, and now we're here, and we are.
And what's so funny about this new business is that like so much of it has come from the podcast. Like, that's what I want to talk about as well, these invisible bricks.
Yeah.
Because I think that when you follow what you're passionate about in life, whatever that is, you don't always get the results straight away or anything. You can feel a bit like unsure about what you're doing and think nothing's working, and you know, you're not seeing the fruits of your labor yet or anything like that, and you can just kind of then decide you want to sack it off. But actually, that's such an important time. You're laying all these invisible bricks, and I feel like coming into this year, what we've done is start to build a house with those invisible bricks that we were making over the last 2 years that we never realized we were making. Because in this new business that we've started together, so many of our clients have found out about us through the podcast, known us through that. It's through reputation building from that. It's through seeing what we did with that and wanting to work with us without us even having to like necessarily hardcore advertise what we do or anything like that. And it's all those invisible bricks coming together. But when you decided, oh, I'm not going to apply for a new job, and I decided, fuck it, I'm going to leave my job. I don't want to do this. I'm going to move out of what, you know, like I'd put 4 years into, you know, people get scared to leave a job. I'd put 4 years into one company and thought that I'd probably just end up in that career, climbing up that career ladder for forever. Thought that would, you know, but I was like, nah, fuck it. You know, there's more out there for me. And then like, I knew that, like, because my intuition was going fucking wild when I tried to not quit. And then he was like, I had like a mental breakdown. Not because I was like, the job was making me have a mental breakdown. My intuition was like, you fucking hand that resignation in right now, bitch. Yeah. It's go time.
Is that when we were doing that podcast as well?
Fucking hell, yeah, I did a podcast about trusting your gut, following your intuition. I felt like the biggest hypocrite in the world. And do you know what? Shout out to Find Your Feet. Because if I hadn't done that, I don't know if I would have quit my job, because I literally did it. And I thought, you're fucking full of shit, Grace. How dare you go and sit there and say, because I don't like to come and say things that obviously I don't do. You know, I like to walk the talk that I say, you know?
Yes.
But I was like, how the fuck can I sit there and say that when actually I'm right now ignoring mine? And then just went and quit my job the next day.
This podcast honestly has kept us so accountable. It's untrue.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's mainly with intuition, because I've done that too, when my intuition was telling me something and I was like, how the hell can I show up for my beautiful listeners and sit there and talk about being in line with your intuition, being in alignment, being in integrity, and not being that myself? Like, that just not sit with me. Like, it's just not one of my values to almost lie to myself, but then trying it. Like, it just doesn't work. You can't inspire people to do something that you're not doing.
No, it's so fake. You just can't do it.
Yeah, so like, as long as we have this podcast, we'll always
be on the right path. Fuck me, we won't be dating any red flaggers. We don't be dating any toxic people. We won't be being toxic. You know?
Yeah,
this podcast has me questioning my Hinge habits, thinking, am I not using it with the right energy? You know? Am I messing around?
Yeah, it's like it has us questioning everything, but definitely for the right good.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, so just to round up that point, you just got to do what feels right, even if it makes no sense to the people around you, even if they are making comments like, what the fuck.
When we started doing this, I had so many people like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Stop. And I was like, no, I will never fucking stop. It's because like I don't like to start things that I'm not going to finish. Not the sunk cost fallacy. That's not applying here. It's not what's going on here.
And this is what we mean by thinking too much about what we're doing.
But no, like I do like to see things through, you know.
Yeah.
Is that because I'm Aries rising? Is that what that is? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
I found out the
maybe.
other day I was Aries rising. Anyone here into astrology? Probably are.
Yeah, somebody
I'm
recommended
Cancer,
someone.
Aries.
I forgot mine again. But you know, my mum said the other day, she was like, oh, you do know that like your birth date time is on your little thing in the loft? I was
What,
like,
like a bracelet?
Yeah, because I knew I had a bracelet, but I thought it wasn't on
Get it
there.
out.
So basically, I just need to go and get it,
So you
and my
do
life's going to
human
change.
design and everything.
Yeah, because I really want to do my human design and just general astrology. Like, we should definitely get someone on as well, like to talk about more in depth. Because I feel like me and you are like into different spiritual concepts, like whatever we feel drawn to. But one thing I feel like when people start asking me about astrology, I'm like,
yeah, I don't have a fucking clue.
No, I'm a Capricorn.
Yeah,
but and some people are like rising moon and all.
Yeah, at the
I'm like,
weekend, your mate, she was
she's so
literally
into it.
rocking my world.
Yeah,
she was telling me everything about myself. I was like, love this. She was telling me that I think she said that my love Venus planet was in Gemini or something like that, or something like that. Basically said to me that for me to like someone or whatever, I have to trust them or something. Like I have to intuitively be like, yeah, no, you're like good or not. Basically, I can't ignore that Cancer intuition. The Cancer's intuitive, I think they are. Yeah, and empathetic and like they read emotions and stuff. Codependency, No, like she said that have to be intuitively be like, yes. They have to pass the intuition test, whatever that is, and I have to, as well. They have to stimulate my mind. They can't just be sexy.
Yeah.
To look at. Apparently, they've got to stimulate my mind to lock me in. Apparently, I was like, that's interesting. Maybe that's why I don't like anyone.
No, that's so you. I'm trying to remember what she said about me now. I can't even remember. It's quite a while ago. The one thing I do remember saying is just that freedom is really important to me.
Yeah.
Which I do definitely resonate. I can't be doing with anything that makes me feel like I'm like trapped.
Yeah. Free spirit.
Yeah, free spirit.
Yeah. Well, she told me as well that I am lucky, but not because I'm lucky. She's like, you make your luck. Like, you go and fucking get it. And I was like, I do, queen. I go and I get that shit. But anyway, I don't know why we're talking about this. I don't know. But astrology is cool, basically.
Yeah.
But, you know, you just have to go for it in your life. You do though. But being like practical as well, what I think is really like, as two young girls sat here right now that have spent a lot of time in their 20s hustling, working, getting your fucking ass up and working. Like we've been dedicated, we've been putting in the time, we've been putting in the effort, we've been thinking long term. When we started the podcast, even from the start, we never fucked about. Every Wednesday, let's go, put an episode out, make it work, do it to like your highest standard that you can. Keep learning, keep growing your skills. Like we have spent a lot of our 20s like putting a lot of effort and work into what we do, rather than maybe like partying or I don't know what else the kids do. Like we have definitely leaned more to the hustler side. We have.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't mind a bit of a party, but
yeah. But I mean, what I'm trying
I fucking work hard anyway. Like, as in, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, but I mean, what I'm trying to say is that. Hold on, I forgot now. Oh yeah, we've like kind of gone through it. What we've seen, like, okay, how do you put your energy into something that you want to do? Like, how do you do that? How is that possible? And where's the energy cap? Because you do have an energy cap. Like we all do. We all have only so much we can give in a day, and obviously each day it kind of varies depending on, you know, whether you're on your period or you're ovulating or all these kind of things, or you're tired or whatever. But we all have like a finite amount that we can give in a day. So when you're thinking, right, I'm in a job right now that I really don't like and I really want to do something else, but I cannot afford to not have this job. I'm not sitting here and telling you to leave that job, but what I'm asking you now to think about, if you're really serious about what you want to do and changing that up and going and doing something else and living a life that feels more purposeful and enjoyable for you, is to not leave that job for no other job, but I would downgrade your job. I would still have a job, but I would get one that's maybe slightly less mentally challenging, still pays the bills. So it's not as much of a, because there's jobs that are like corporate jobs, you're climbing up the ladder, they take a lot of your mental energy, a lot. My last job, no way would I have been able to keep up any of the stuff that I've been doing that's now allowed me to have full-time business now and not work for anyone else.
Yeah.
So I think what you need to do when you're in that situation, when you're like in that safety net of a job, you can't leave that because we all have to pay fucking bills. We've got to keep a roof over our head. But you have to do something to basically open up time for you to have that, free up some of your energy. You have to do something like that. So I would change jobs. I would go and get a job that maybe, if you can afford it, like less hours, or leave and get a job that's slightly less mentally challenging, and just say to yourself, even though I'm moving still to another job that's still a safety net, because often as well, what's really good for following your dreams and your passions and taking those risks and like having that grit and tenacity to see it through, build the invisible bricks when you can't even see them, is knowing that like, oh, I've got to make some money, so I need to do something. Do you know what I mean? Like that.
Oh yeah.
That
100%.
not safety net actually can really,
What do you
really
call it? Balls to the wall.
Balls to the wall. Yeah. Is that what I say? Do I used to say that?
Yeah, I used to always say
balls to the wall. Yeah, like guns to the head. You know.
Yeah.
That's what I wake up every day and think about. No joking. But like. No, but you only have a certain amount of energy in the day. And if you just switch jobs, something slightly less challenging, or maybe you go part-time on your hours, but you fucking say to yourself in the mirror, I'm giving myself extra time here by doing this because I'm committing to my dreams, and I am going to use that time. There is no point in going for a job that's slightly less challenging, still having the safety net of knowing you're getting a paycheck every month to cover your bills and all your life and all that kind of stuff. And then with that free time, just messing about. No, it's game time. Balls to the wall, you know? Look yourself in the mirror and say, even though I'm still going to have a safety net of a job and all that stuff, I am committing to, outside of my hours, putting in the fucking work to make this shit happen. And you've just got to live a short period of your time where you're putting in a little bit more until eventually you can stop working for other people, whatever it is, and you can just be full-time on what you want to be doing. But there's always a crossover, there's always a bridge, and we all have to do it. And I love that quote. I've always seen it since I was younger, like live a life for like a short period of time, like a couple of years, how most people wouldn't be willing to, so that you can live the rest of your life how people can only like dream of. You know, like, and I don't even think that the sacrifices you make to live your dream, like follow your passions, even feels like a sacrifice, to be honest, because you feel so fulfilled by what you're doing anyway. Not saying it's all like sunshine and roses and you don't have days where you're like, fucking hell, this is hard. You do, but there's just something in it. It sparks off like this energy inside of you that gets so alive from what you're doing that you'll just do it regardless anyway, and you get more energy as well because it feeds you, you know?
No, totally. It's so true that you literally only have a certain amount of energy, and not even like energy, but like literal life force energy to give to your day and to give to your dreams. And I think like if you are struggling with that, or if you're in a job where you feel like you put so much in but you don't really get anything out, I think like ask yourself, and I mean I see this quote sometimes and I'm like it's a bit, I don't know, cringe or whatever, but I'm like, it's so true, like whose dreams are you building?
Yeah,
because you can get so busy building other people's dreams. It's
yeah,
so
that
true.
quote, isn't it? Build your own dreams, or someone will hire you to
yeah
build
that one, or
theirs.
someone will hire you to build that. It's
that
so
used
true.
to like be on my Pinterest board when I was like,
it was definitely
16
on mine.
no, probably younger than that, 14. I was like, fuck it,
yeah, it's
phone
so true.
wallpaper, let's go.
Not that it's like awful
All
to work
about-
for somebody
yeah,
else or anything like that.
no.
Like if that is your soul's purpose, then
Oh
you
no,
fucking
you can.
go
That
for
can
it.
be so. Yeah, we're not saying that everything we're talking about here is entrepreneurship, because people can have jobs that are in their passion as well.
Yeah, no, 100%. But if you are like someone that wants to start their own thing and you feel like you're getting to the end of the day and you have absolutely nothing left to give to your passion and building your dreams, then that's when you have to be really honest with yourself and think, I need to take a step back somewhere. I need to maybe get a different job. I need to do something that's less energy draining so I can give to my dreams. And I think as well, like when you think, like, no, I feel like when people want to start something new and they get scared that, like we said at the start, they can't see the whole staircase. They can't even see like what is the business even going to be. But even just starting, like you most people don't have any idea like what the business is even going to turn into. Like I think a lot of people think, oh, they've had this huge successful business and they must have had like a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan. But most of the time, like people's businesses just grow as they grow. Like they don't have a clue how it's actually going to turn out. And I think as well, if you are someone that has a plan and you're like, I want this business, it's going to take me a while to get here. I know people that have done it. It took them this many years. It's like, just start, because the time is going to pass anyway. And I always think that like time is going to pass. What is the difference between you starting your business tomorrow and starting next year is just that you're not going to have that other year of like learning things, making mistakes, putting yourself out there, building your confidence. Like just start. It doesn't matter if you don't know what the business is going to be. It doesn't matter if you don't know what it's going to look like in a year. Like just start on your passions and just give yourself that time every day, and like it will naturally turn into what it's meant to do. Especially if you're in alignment with what feels good for you, it's always going to work out right, because you're always going to be kind of like manifesting from that natural aligned energy. So don't worry too much that you don't know what it's going to look like, because like say we've got this business now, social media marketing business, but like 2 years ago or something, like we could have never ever imagined that we'd have this, but that's just naturally flourished from like what we've learned. But it's like we would have never known that that was going to be
the outcome, or something that was going to happen along the way of starting the pod and stuff.
Or like we never knew that that was going to be something that's going to support the podcast. Like that income supports us being able to do this.
Yeah, exactly.
And grow.
Yeah.
Like we would have never known that. But if we had like stayed in fear and thought, oh no, like let's just get like proper jobs because it's not certain, then we would have been out of alignment, because we wouldn't do what feels good. And then we would have never given ourselves a chance to see what it was going to flourish into. Yeah.
And like life is a game as well. And
it's literally just a game.
Yeah.
Don't take it too seriously.
Don't, play, have fun. But like, also it's a privilege to be able to take the risk of pursuing your passion or your dream and it succeeding or failing. That's a fucking privilege that you can even actually attempt that. Like most people listening to this podcast are listening in like a safe country, because otherwise you're not really listening to podcasts like in a developed countries or whatever. Like you've got the means and an economy, you've got opportunities, you've got these things. Like just why waste time? Like take advantage of that. Like there's so many things set up in your favor. Like just fucking go for it. Now there's no better time than now. That other quote that people always say, it's like Chinese people, someone say it, or like the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is now, or something, because it takes 20 years. Is it Chinese people say? I swear it's like a Chinese myth people? Or something.
Oh, right.
I swear it's something like that. I might have just made that up. Sorry everyone if I've made that up. But I swear down that
like a
it's
Chinese
from some culture that they say it, and I swear it's true. Anyway, but basically it's wise because it's true. So you have no time to waste. Like, and as well, like you need to know that you are like worthy of following your dreams, that you're good enough, that you can do it. Anything you're passionate about, I think that you just naturally develop the skills to be able to see it through and do it. And just taking that first step, not being able to see the end of the road, but honestly just following intuitively inside what you actually want to be doing will lead you to where you need to be, and you don't need to worry about the next 3 steps. You just need to go and jump and trust, and it will work. I'm not telling you all to go and fucking quit your jobs tomorrow and have no income. And don't come and tell me in 2 weeks, Grace, I listened to you and I'm fucked and now I've got no money. I'm not saying that. Do the thing we said, go in part-time or downgrade into a job that's slightly less challenging, so you've got more mental energy to put into your side hustle, whatever it is that you want to be doing. There's always a way. We've got a quote in our wall in our office that says, find a way or make one. Yeah. And that is literally how we live every fucking day. We're like, right, if someone asks us something and we want to do it, but we think, fuck, how are we going to do that? We just find a way, or we make a way.
Yeah, and the other one as well, which I absolutely love, is step by step, day by day. And that's literally what you were saying before, like all these little building blocks that you don't even realise. And also just want to say, because I really feel like people will be listening right now thinking, I need to do it, I need to start this business, they're inspiring me. We have got a lot of feedback off our listeners saying that they have listened to certain episodes of ours and gone and started a business.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
the
it
amount
happens
of
a lot.
people.
Yeah.
I'm like, I fucking love this shit, because I like I said, it's not like it's something so close to my heart. I'm like, I feel like so many people need to do it because we experience how fulfilling it is. So it just makes me so happy to hear that like other people that are listening somehow are influenced by us to go and do it.
Yeah, no, we've got like quite a few messages like that. So you're not going to be like the first person. You're not going to be a bit of a loon for taking this advice. Like, this is tried and tested advice. And honestly, we've had feedback of people saying they are so glad they went for it. Like, there's this girl, I think she's called Lucy, you know, the one on TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
She posts loads of TikToks.
She's left to be a teacher job to be a Pilates teacher now, yeah.
And I can't remember if she said, like, it was directly from us or something, but I know she listens to the podcast. I know she definitely messaged us saying how she had left her job. And now she posts all these really fun TikToks about how, like, she's a Pilates instructor. And I'm just, like, living
She's
for it.
their dreams,
She's, like, living proof. So, like, don't feel like you are the guinea pig or anything like that. Like,
there's so many other girls, in the community that are doing
and I'm just so glad they have, because like we
there was somebody
else
else
as well.
Yeah, there's somebody else like a set up like a virtual assistant business, and I can't remember her name, but she's messaged on Instagram, and we follow her now, and I've seen her stuff. And she said to us, "Oh, like you gave me that push. Listen, you gave me the push to just do it."
Or like changing a job and stuff like that. But it just makes me so proud, because it's like, yes, girl, I want to see like your business grow. Like how incredible that like we helped you take that push, because I think you do need that. Like as I said right at the start, we do live in a society that feeds us fear. Like if you want some fear, just go and watch the news tonight, and you'll be all up to the top with fear, and it's great. Or you could actually make decisions. So if anything, like this inspiration is coming from you, because you are the one that is opening up your phone, putting on our podcast or another podcast. But like doing that is so important, because that fills you with the motivation. Like I don't think we would even be here if we weren't into self-development and stuff like that, pushing
I think,
us.
I think that a lot of what I've decided to do, taking the leap before I'm ready, it's inspired by you telling me to. No, but like from all the books that I read, I started listening to Gary Vee when I was like 16 or 17 or something. You know,
we just loved it.
Because
imagine
he's
we never
crazy,
got into
but
that.
We'll
never.
He's a madness guy, but like I was listening to him when I was that age, and like that shit was sinking into my subconscious mind about, because he's all about that. But and then I've listened to so many other people obviously since then, so many things. It's definitely just completely reshaped my brain to think that that's normal.
Because whatever you listen to and whatever you soak in literally becomes your reality. Whatever you're talking about in those four walls of your house, whatever the conversations are about, like that is becoming your reality. So as we always say, like you've got to be so careful who you surround yourself with, but of course as well, like who are you consuming, who you're listening to. And I just have to say, like, taking a house off toes, because I mean we listen to podcasts like this as well that are like inspiring, because like you just need that. Like you need someone to be like, oh, it's actually okay and you can do it. And like if you're not going to jump off the edge, we will just push you subtly and you can do it.
No, it's so true. And like what I always think is really funny as well is now like the two closest people to me that I speak to the most in my life, apart from family, is obviously you, because I can catch a break from you, and my best friend Lacey, who I keep fucking talking about on the podcast. So maybe we should bring her in as a co-host.
We do need to bring her in.
I think she should shit herself. She'd be like, what the fuck? But she has started her business this year as well. And I remember when we were when she was out of uni and she was debating whether to do another master's in psychology or something. And obviously she's really interested in that and actually informs her job now, because a lot of it's, mental stuff as well. But like I remember her saying to me, I'm going to do this master's, I don't know. I'm thinking about doing a PT course. And I just was like, you have to do that. You have to do that.
So hurt.
Yeah, I could just see it in her from then. This was years ago, and I was like, you would be so sick at that, like go and do it. And she just did it along the side of her full-time job. And then do you know what happened? She got fucking sacked from her secure job at the start of COVID. Before it all even kicked off, they shit themselves like before anything was even going on. She went in one day, thought she had a job, left, didn't have a job anymore. But what she'd done, she'd just nearly finished up a PT qualification. So she thought, fuck it, I've been working for this on the side, doing this, just going to jump into this. And now she's doing it. And now she's like in her purpose. So it's, like that thing like about like that safety and stuff, like so that's why she as well wasn't scared to go and just, right, fuck it, I'm gonna go and do this instead and follow what I actually am passionate about, because she was like this sense of like, oh, if I just work at this one company that'll be safe is an illusion, because it's not. I went in thinking I had a job one day, and then I went home and I didn't have one anymore.
100%. I was actually gonna reference, while we're talking about Friends, I was actually gonna reference good old Ash, because she's the perfect example as well as someone that is like literally, if any of you girls are into fashion, After Youth is just like the coolest brand. But she's literally worked the most stressful full-time job for like a few years while building After Youth, which is a sick brand. And it's already grown so much.
Yeah.
And now she's got to the point where she's like, I want to grow After Youth. This is my purpose. This is my passion. And so she's taking less hours. She's taking less money to go part-time at her job, because she only has like, a certain mental capacity. Yeah, but she's fully taking like that risk on herself, because obviously it's going to pay off, because it's grown so much even when she has like about 5 minutes to put into it. But that's a perfect example of like thinking, okay, like how can I make this work? Like this is so important to me. I need more brain energy for what's actually really going to light up my soul. And like now I think she's just starting going part-time now, and like I cannot wait to see what she's like happens. It's literally gonna take over the world.
It's so good she's done that, and like she's literally living in London, paying rent in London, and doing that. Like that's risky behaviour, but it will completely pay off. Like, so
yeah, and like the whole episode at this point as well really reminds me of this quote that we posted on our Instagram on the 3rd of October 2021.
Oh my God, that was more than a year ago.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, we didn't post it that long ago. We're shit on our Instagram now, though. Sorry.
Nearly.
We will resume being good on Instagram soon.
Is it the 3rd today, or is it the 4th?
It's November now.
Oh yeah. Sorry, guys. Anyway, the quote is, "She was never quite ready, but she was brave, and the universe listens to the brave."
Fuck yeah.
And I love that. Like, you're never going to be ready. You're really not. Like, you just got to go for it.
You got to say it.
Oh, take the leap before you're ready, guys.
Hey!
Which is my famous
You need to get tattooed on you.
Maybe I should.
You know what we should do? We should montage loads of clips from an archive of the podcast.
But you know, I haven't actually said it that much. You've just decided I say it all the time. I actually probably said it like just a few times. I probably say it actually more in everyday life more. Take the leap before you're ready, guys.
But it's the truth.
It is the truth.
It's the goddamn truth. Well, I think that rounds up our episode. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. Hope everyone's writing their resignation letters right now and walking into their boss's office and saying, fuck you, I'm going to follow my passions because Grace and Abby told me to. Joking, no. All within reason. Don't do anything too crazy.
Yeah, and if you do, come and tell us, because we want to hear more stories and we want to support you and see your businesses, or even if it's like a new job, like it's just exciting. It deserves to be celebrated.
Yeah, let's girl boss together, everybody.
Yeah.
But thanks so much for listening, guys. We'll be back next Wednesday with a new episode. Release episodes every Wednesday. Keep up with us on social media at Find Your Feet Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. We love hearing from you guys, so come and send us a DM. Let us know what you think about the show. Tag it on your stories. You know, come and be social with us on social media.
Yeah, come and join us. We're always posting some wildness, maybe more on... I mean, you're always posting consistently on TikTok. I was going to say we're posting...
on our
Instagram,
page
but it's
on
not
TikTok. Do you mean?
No, I meant your page. Like, you post TikToks, and yeah, we post lots of fun episode clips on our TikTok.
Yeah, we do, and we will be posting normally on Instagram very soon.
Yeah,
we're gonna rebrand it. We've been
there'll be more funky
avoiding
quotes
it
like that.
We've been like, we need to rebrand it first. We need to fix it.
Yeah, there's been a lot going on.
So much going on,
but
it's all coming back though.
Yeah. And yeah, we really appreciate you tuning in and listening to us. We love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.